again and welcome back to Bookish Brits. My name is Michelle, and to celebrate the publication of Sarra Manning's latest adult fiction book, It Felt Like a Kiss, I thought that I would talk to you a bit today about why I love her books so much. Now, I absolutely adore Sarra Manning's YA books, in particular Nobody's Girl, which is amazing, but I also really love the Diary of a Crush series. I love Adorkable, Let's Get Lost, Guitar Girl. I love them all. So it wasn't that big of a stretch for me to think that perhaps I would also love her adult fiction. I came across her first adult fiction as I was shopping in my local supermarket. I looked over and I saw this beautiful cover, unsticky, and I just decided to grab it on an absolute whim. And I don't know if you can see from there that this book is really, really well loved. I've read this book quite a few times because it's just one of my favorites. It tells the story of Grace, who's just turned 23 and her boyfriend dumps her in her favorite shop, and she runs into this kind of mysterious older guy called Vaughn who invites her out and then gives her an indecent proposal sort of offer. I really, really love this story. I think both Grace and Vaughn, the two main characters, are hugely flawed, and they have quite a few differences in things that they need to really look at and address in their own lives as well as in their relationship, in order to get on. But I love the journey that both of these characters take. This is my absolute favorite Sarra Manning adult book. It's the one that I come back to when I'm in a reading slump and I just need a good, comforting, romantic read to get me back into the swing of reading. I love this book. I'm so glad that I did see it and buy it on that whim. It was a good whim. Now, the second book that I'm going to talk about today is You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, which is her second book. I think that this book was released with two different covers, and there might be some big pink lips on the other cover. I really, really love this book as well. Again, I've read this one a couple of times as well. It's the story of Neve, this 20-something girl who used to be really, really overweight. She's done a great deal of work over the last few years to lose a large amount of her body weight, and she's really doing all of these things to improve her body and everything in order to impress this boy who's run off to America for years, and she has a big crush, and she thinks she's not good enough unless she is a certain size, and she's really stressing out about the fact that she's never really been in a relationship. She doesn't really know how to do these things, and so she starts up this pancake relationship with a man that works with her sister called Max. And what I love about Sarra Manning's books is that there's a lot of connectivity. Some of the characters that you met, that readers have met in Unsticky, are seen in this book. They have this thread in common with Skirt magazine. There is this one hugely emotional fight in which you can tell that Max says something and it crosses the line utterly. And for that one scene alone, it means that this book is one that I will continue to come back to and adore. I do love it. Now, I know Sarra Manning's third adult book has come across a lot of criticism, and a lot of it is down to the title of the book, which is 9 Uses for an Ex-Boyfriend. And I do remember being hugely excited to read this book, and while I did enjoy it, I didn't enjoy it as much as the previous two books. Some of that is due to the title. I was quite confused how that fit into the story, and I was expecting the story to be slightly different than it is. But once I sort of put aside those issues and really focused on the characters and the stories, I really did enjoy this book. It's the story of Hope, this primary school teacher who kind of dreams about having a different sort of life, but she always realizes that at least she has this one perfect boyfriend, Jack, and that sort of makes up for a lot of other shortcomings in her life, and things kind of crumble for her when she walks in on Jack and her best friend Susie making out in the kitchen during one of their dinner parties. Most of the book is down to Hope trying to find the strength within herself to let go of this relationship despite being a huge part of her life for the past 13 years and moving on. While it was a little bit harder and it took more time to find my feet within this story, I still really enjoyed it. Now, this book is a long time coming. It was originally meant to be published in May of 2013, and it was put off, and now, finally, at the end of this month, It Felt Like a Kiss will be published with a pretty cover. This book is one that I feel like I will return to quite a bit as well. It feels a little bit different to her previous books, this one. It still has the wonderful writing and the great characters and relationships, but it really has less to do with art and fashion and writing or weight loss or whatever, and it has more of a story about family and music, which I thought was really great, and it's still very romantic. About a girl called Ellie who is the manager of an art gallery, and she begins to uncover some information about her rock star father, who she's never met, and who he's never acknowledged her existence or anything. And it kind of tells the story of both of her parents as they fall in love, and as well as, the story of Ellie in the present day. So I really enjoyed the mixture of Ellie's parents as well as the story of Ellie in the present. It's really, really good, and I recommend that you do pick this book up when it is released very soon. So that's it for me today. Those are my thoughts on the adult books by Sarra Manning. Have you read any of these? Do you have any thoughts? I would love to hear them, and thank you for watching.